Tulsi Gabbard took to Twitter to express her opinion on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So she writes, President Putin, not only is your brutal attack on Ukraine reprehensible, it has been a huge geopolitical error, which has already cost Russia dearly. Those costs will get higher every day you remain in Ukraine. So it is in the best interest of the Russian people and the people of Ukraine that you pull your forces out now. It's not too late to salvage the kinship felt between Russia and the Ukrainian people, as expressed in this video clip from a Ukrainian soldier. And she has embedded in there a TikTok video from this Ukrainian soldier. We'll watch that.
Слава Україні.
And so, it's obviously not, a bunch of people are dunking on Tulsi saying like, oh, I guess the rubles aren't showing up, and so now you're flipping on Putin. But that's not remotely fair. It is fair to say that she's been much more sympathetic to the Russian point of view throughout this conflict, and often has taken in some ways refreshing, other times not so much, a view of U.S. imperialism. And so, for her to be making this statement suggests that something does seem to be turning for Putin. I don't know, Kim, what do you think?
No, I just think that Tulsi does this often, where she will say end war, end needless war. So I don't really read into it a whole lot, except that perhaps, many of us that I wouldn't say sympathetic to the Russian position, but understanding of where, of the historical context that led them to this aggression, those of us that are understanding of that often get labeled a Putin puppet. And so maybe she's just feeling like she needs to come out and say something on behalf of, that seems more sympathetic to Ukraine. But, look, at the end of the day, Russia's just not going to say, oops, my bad. Okay, let's just go ahead and leave. To me, it makes more sense to call for a better negotiation, perhaps being more reasonable in the negotiation. They're getting the main thing they want, which is they don't want NATO in Ukraine. Ukraine has already acquiesced to this. So the rest of it is about land, Crimea, Donbass. Maybe, call for Russia to be more agreeable, and in order to end the conflict, I think is a better, path forward in trying to end this war.
Yeah, and what I mean...
Yeah, but I don't think it matters, what Tulsi says or what I say or what any of us say does not... Putin is not listening to us, neither is Zelensky, so we're all just making statements that don't influence anything, so I don't...
Unless Arnold retweets her, because apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of 30 or 50 people that Putin actually follows on Twitter, so he's got to retweet it, and it's got to be in Russian. What I mean by her complicated relationship with U.S. imperialism, she's completely opposed to U.S. regime change wars abroad, but also supportive of the U.S. global war on terror, which...
Right.
It's an unusual kind of splitting.
Right. I don't know that I find it. We can't. Right. We should not seek regime change in various countries, but we should, in some cases, kill terrorist groups.